Hello, YouTube. If one of D's goals with the Valis Undermine patch was to finally make Excalibur Prime obsolete, then they succeeded, because Brightbonnet as a subsume on Excalibur is probably the best subsume on Excalibur by a lot. And it's for a few reasons. And there's a couple of those that are unique to Excalibur Umbra because of his Sentience passive. So what I'll do is I'll show the build, and then I'll show some gameplay and show you how I like to use it and how to maximize upon it. So there's some of the tricks that I figured out. As a point of symbolism, we're going to look down upon Excalibur Prime here for just a moment. May he rest not in peace, because it's been a big annoyance in the game for a long time. And we'll show the build. So I'll start with Archon Shards, so I don't forget them. The filler is ability strength. You don't need these, but these are the filler for it. It's probably the most impactful out of all of them for a few reasons. This is required, whether it's a normal. If you have just a normal, like let's say you don't have enough Talforged Amber Shards, this is a normal, works just fine. The reason you use this is because the way his Sentience works, where it has starting energy. So you use one of these, it gives his Sentience starting energy and allows him to cast more than just like one ability before he runs out of energy. And it also mitigates the ability for him to burn through his energy and decast your Exalted Blade. Since he doesn't decast or cast it, it's just he runs out of energy, decasts it for you from a lack of energy. And then casting speed, I like 2, but if you want to run 1 or even 0, because you're running like Madurai, which is entirely viable on this build, then you can just run 1 or 2. These are flexible depending on preferences. If you need to fill it with something, just put another strength shard in. Getting into the build, there's some flexibility here, and my prime variation, I actually run Precision Intensify on my prime variation. The reason I'm not running it here is because this guy is set up to be able to do triple Umbral, which is not possible on my prime right now. And I won't even bother showing that. So you can have Precision Intensify here as an option as well. Which one is better? It's a matter of opinion. I think overall, though, for damage, Precision Intensify is better here because the most impacted from the negative strength on Overextend is Exalted Blade. And so you can overcompensate for that with Precision Intensify. Overextend is kind of a net neutral, if not net positive. The extra range allows you to hit more targets, and in most missions, this will, on average, give you a higher value, in my experience for that. So the strength is not as important on this as the range is, but you want a certain amount of strength, probably at least 250 or so, in order for this to really hit that. Matter of opinion there. And then Brightbonnet. I'll recap some things that I've learned about Brightbonnet. So when you cast it, it's a little mushroom you see there in the little photo. And it puts a little mushroom down, and that has an AoE. And that AoE radius, every 3 seconds, will pulse. And that pulse is what gives you energy. When you go within that radius, it gives you a buff, which is that effect duration, and that's the strength value. This strength value actually caps at 100%. And what strength value that is, I don't know. Someone could do the math for it. I think it's like 900% or something. But you can actually reach that in fissure missions. If you're in like a conjunction survival, you can in this build, you can hit it in conjunction survival with or without Teshin's little AoE strength and casting speed. Which is how I'm able to figure out that it caps, because what doesn't cap is the energy restore. But just keep that in mind. The value does cap. That's where, even with Precision Intensify, it caps. So like 800, 900% or so. The other thing to note about it is it does cap, but it also snapshots. So if you have 100% strength snapshotted, like you have that buff for 100% strength, and then your fissure expires, but as long as you keep this effect duration up, any subsequent mushroom will just refresh that 100%. So really nice that way. Now, if it expires, you get whatever it is, the value of strength from that mushroom, that mushroom gives. So there's some things to note about that. What I'll show in gameplay is some of the gameplay specific things that I found that are really useful to use, especially on Excalibur Umbra. There's a couple. So I think that's enough explanation here. It's my Afflictions build. I think Afflictions is a lot better than Influence. The downside to Influence is you're not getting as high of strength in comparison as a net positive because you don't have these conditional bonuses, because you can't really stack Impetus. You're disincentivized from having augmented running Exalted Blade, because then at some point you have to recast it in order to get that. And to show my Exalted Blade build for this setup, it's standard Afflictions. There's one major change that I've made onto a couple of mods, and it's just really like an optimization to my previous builds on Affliction, running Amalgam Organ Shatter for not only the crit damage, but more importantly, the heavy attack windup speed, as well as running melee Elementalist instead of Galvanized Elementalist. The reason being that 10% status damage is just better than 120% status chance on a build that doesn't really have good base status chance and doesn't scale that well anyways. The other advantage is that the heavy attack windup speed. So when you're running Affliction, the attack speed on this build is so low, also because of Spoiled Strike, but just even the base attack speed, where you're not really using it like a normal melee weapon. Now, if you have like a Wisp or a Valkyrie in your group and you've got a lot of attack speed, then it kind of doesn't matter at that point, but it feels good at that time. But otherwise, just spam heavy attacks. The combo doesn't really matter there. Melee Affliction's going to perform better in scaling damage if it's actually able to fling those targets and they have status effects on them. It's just going to scale better than that way. The amount of base heavy attack damage this thing has is just absurd. So that's how I would recommend doing. I would recommend using this in general. If you have one of my other Afflictions builds, just switch these out and start running it like this, maximizing the raw damage and then just this slight variation in order to get better heavy attack windup speed. The other thing that I'll point out is combo duration. I'm going to probably cover this in every single build video from now on. What I recommend running is on your Arc Gun, the dual dexterity mods, because these do apply and they do stack doubly. So if you do have primaries and secondaries, you do want to do that. I don't like doing that because of fissure bonuses. You don't get those bonuses if you don't have those weapons equipped, and so I'm able to sort of bin the bonuses that are actually impactful for my build as a melee only player. But these stack even when you've never pulled out your Arcwing. You don't have to do anything. It just passively applies to it. And then when you do pull out your Arcwing, you get the 720% damage between these two on it, and it's good. And it's easy to refresh because all you have to do is just slash dash or do like a melee kill real quick, and they decay instead of fully clearing out, which is also nice. It's a really good upgrade. It's probably one of the biggest quality of life improvements that melee only builds have seen probably in the entire game. Just having an extra 15, even an extra 5 combo duration baseline is really good on all of my builds. It's usually have to compromise somewhere for it, either like in your aura slot or your fissure bonuses, equipping primaries and secondaries. This is just really good. And on Dual Curse, it gets the combo duration really high up because you want to be able to maintain on this being a slash dash focused build, or like a holistic focused build, not like an Exalted Blade build or really a slash dash build. This is a more holistic type Excalibur build. Having that extra combo duration really helps maintain the fluidity of it, to be able to have 12 by 220 more reliably for slash dash damage, since slash dash still scales off of whatever your equipped melee weapons combo duration is, or combo counter. So that's where combo duration really helps. Companion build does not matter. What I've been just doing recently is running my Ghost Thrax Killer, my really powerful build for this, just because it feels really good. It's real nice. You don't need this for any particular bonus. Like, you don't even need it for Tenacious Bond to make this build work. So this is just like allowing your companion to do as much damage as it can. This helps in a build like this, that it's the primary source of healing, where otherwise you have health orbs, but you don't really need it that much. But then at the same time, this also gives your companion a buff, whether that 25% is additive or multiplicative, I don't know, but it's a decent buff, and everything's affected by slash when you're playing Excalibur, since Radio Javelin applies slash to everything. And this is the same exact build. Don't get too deep into that. So that pretty much covers all of the preamble, we'll get into a mission. There, nope. Okay, we'll go into our standard test mission. So I'll show off probably the most important feature that Umbra gets that Prime does not get. And this one's pretty significant. So anyone that runs Energy Nexus knows the utility of being able to just passively get energy. Well, Excalibur can do that. And the way I'm going to demonstrate this is I'm just going to burn all of my starting energy here. There you go. Now we're down to 6. And all we have to do,
right you are.
Pop into Operator. Oh, look at that. What's this we got here? Let's spawn another one. Okay, there we go. Now that's nice and comfortable. I'm gonna get 2 more down. Oh, look at this. Isn't this nice? Look at that energy going way up into the moon. So memes aside, that is probably the biggest feature of this, because I think this build and Impetus in general and Afflictions in general can run into a problem where you just run out of energy. And it's hard to recover back because you need energy to get that efficiency stat, to get those impetus stacks, to get the efficiency to like keep this thing snowballing. And it's kind of always been something I've fought with. This solves that problem. And it allows you to actually make use of Excalibur Umbra's unique feature. If you don't transfer in and out, so this, we'll get this rolling here. So if you let him just stay out for a while, he can struggle sometimes to cast it. Like he seems to have an internal cooldown on his ability to recast it, but if you transfer in and out like I showed in the beginning, then that solves that problem. Alright, let's revive. I could use this healing. So he pretty reliably right off the rip casts it. As long as he's not getting killed and stuff. So what I'll do here, so I can show you this, is we're gonna find us a nice little corner, which I think is down there. And we're gonna create our little Mushroom Kingdom. So as soon as he casts it, if you just sit in Operator for a while, he might not cast it for some time. It's mostly consistent though, as long as he's not getting attacked. So like right there. And because we have so much energy regeneration, we'll just keep doing this. Anything decides to get close, there's a nice little toxin field that'll kill them. Activating it will buy you more time. So obviously if you're playing a defense mission, this is just, you're going to be able to sit in these. They've got insane range on them. That's where overextend really comes in. Because even during missions where you're moving a lot, you might not be able to get the 3-second pulse unless you're throwing them in front of you and then running through. Like, it doesn't take you 3 seconds to move 30 meters. So that's where you're having to take that into consideration. Where starting energy kind of helps as well on Umbra versus something like Prime. Like, sure, you can run a starting energy shard on Prime just fine, but it doesn't feel as impactful, just like in a lot of my other builds, as it is when you also get the benefit to a Spectre. Give me some mushrooms. There we go. So that's kind of the trick that I found. You just as soon as he casts it, you transfer into it. I would make the argument this is probably better as a radio javelin. Because infinite energy with 4 mushrooms. And the strength, which does scale it.
Keep an eye out.
I've delivered another life support capsule.
We'll, for the rest of this mission, nice little reactor going with our 1150% multiplicative damage. Nope. But I gotta at least maintain my Doesn't mean I'm demonstrating here. I haven't even used Naru's immunity. Well, I maybe used it once. I forget already. But I haven't been having to use it because you get enough energy to be able to maintain some semblance of shields. The other advantage here is because the range on slash dash, you're more likely to chain into slash dash and just have this infinite slash dash across all your moves.
Scratch one.
I'll show you one of the advantages of Unaru when you're dealing with acolytes. This is a really nice bonus here. So we'll transfer into operator. We'll let our companion do all the work, I guess. But if he died, let's say if you're running Unaru and you died in operator, then all you have to do is just use your interact button and then kill something and clear that transfer stack. Nice little feature. Ooh, see, this is a bug. This is nice to show, actually. So there is a bug with Umbra's Sentience. And if this becomes a huge problem, then feel free to mass report this. I'm going to actually make a forum post about this so that we can get this reported and hopefully they can fix it. Because notice, my first and second ability are disabled. Let's see. In this scenario, we can still get our mushrooms, though.
It's kicking off. Pop them off.
Yeah. If there's any questions about this build, as I already mentioned, I will be making a bug report since I caught one of these live on camera. So, bug report showing that bug, first and second ability getting disabled. Apparently it can disable more than just the first and second. Every time I've had that happen, it just disables first and second ability. And it's been pretty difficult to replicate. So luckily I got to replicate that. And you can find that link in the description to the forum post, probably shortly after this video goes live. So yeah, to recap, I think as a subsume, this is by far the best for Excalibur, and Umbra has a nice little feature on that. So those two features that he can apply two more, so you can have the 4 as Excalibur Umbra, and then also it's a source of emergency energy recovery. So you're completely drained, pop into Umbra, or pop it, let him become a Spectre, and then let him cast it, and that's really powerful, and I like it a lot. So it's a better form of Empower because it gives it to your teammates. Even in this build, it's baseline better than Empower. Energy Restore, really good. So D definitely did a good job in selecting which one they were going to give as a subsume ability, because it is a very nice ability. So yeah, thanks for watching.